What is good, everybody? Today we are going through my Royal Rumble 2025 predictions. We're going to be breaking down the entire match card. I'm going to give you my thoughts on every matchup leading up, the feud, where I think we go from here, the surprise entrance. I'm going to give you who I think the Iron Women and Iron Man are going to be of each Rumble. I'm going to tell you who I think is going to have the most eliminations, and I'm going to tell you not only who I think the winner is going to be, but who the Final Four could be. And this could be fun. I think it could be fun to kind of predict these things, and we can come back to the video after the fact and see. But one thing I'm most excited for is I'm actually going to be at the Royal Rumble. This is going to be my third year straight, and I can't remember if I predicted who was going to. I can't remember, man. I always do Royal Rumble predictions, but I can't remember who I picked the last couple years. But I'm going to be right there by the entrance ramp. And last year I was one seat away from the edge. This year I'm going to be right beside the guardrail. So I'm really hyped, man. It should be fun. We're going to vlog the entire experience. If you guys are going to be there, let me know down below, man. Nonetheless, man, this is going to be awesome. Let's go ahead and get into it. I'm very excited for this year's Royal Rumble. I think it's very unpredictable. You have so many great names in there that could win the thing, man. Roman Reigns, CM Punk, John Cena, Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins potentially. There are so many guys that are vying for that spot at WrestleMania. And I'm hyped, man. We're going to break it down. We're going to break down the entire match card. Let's not waste any more time, land. Let's dive into the match card and let's predict these matches. Let's start things off with our WWE Tag Team Championship match. 2 out of 3 falls match between DIY, Tommaso Ciampa, and Johnny Gargano taking on Motor City Machine Guns. Now with this matchup, man, I truly think this could be a potential match of the year candidate. I expect both teams to tear the house down. I hope that, that main roster WWE deal doesn't weigh them down in that sense. I hope they let them go the limit, man. I hope, there's no time limit on this thing. I hope they give them all the time in the world. There's only 4 matches, so you're going to get, an hour-long Rumble, an hour-long Women's Rumble as well, and then you do have even a ladder match and stuff, so I hope each matchup gets its room to breathe, and this one should be really intense. I expect nothing less than at least a match of the year candidate. I'm not asking for a 5-star classic, but it should be damn good, man. There should be no reason why this does not go the limit, and it's just the best tag team matchup we've seen in a while from WWE. I'm excited for it. I'm going to pick DIY to retain. I just think that it gives us the best storyline potentially going into WrestleMania, and I think that it kind of gives, Motor City a little bit of something to chase there. I don't know. For some reason, I'm feeling DIY to retain here, and that just makes the most sense to me personally, so I'm going to go with those guys to retain, but I just want the matchup to be great, and hopefully I'll have a good review of it as I'm there live in the arena. Next up, we have our WWE Undisputed Championship, and I guess Winged Eagle Championship ladder match between Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. 2 of my favorite guys in the entire company going to war here at Royal Rumble, man. Again, much like DIY in the tag team match, man, I want the matchup to be a banger. There's so much potential here. I think both guys have killed it in the storyline so far. Kevin Owens doing some of the best work he's done in WWE. I'm really, really enjoying it. As much as I would love to see Kevin Owens win this matchup, and I have been a huge supporter of Kevin Owens since day one in the company, man. Love Kevin Owens, one of my favorites, but I just don't think it would make a lot of sense to drop the title here at Royal Rumble for Cody. Now, how we get there is going to be a different story. Could we get Randy Orton involved? Could we get somebody else involved? Could The Rock get involved in Cody Rhodes' deal? I mean, there's anything that's possible here on this road to WrestleMania that we're on here. Very excited for it. I just hope that I'm expecting some ladder wars type deal, man. Maybe Sami Zayn gets involved. You never know. I just want to see, I want to see some good-ish, man. A package pile driver on a ladder bridge, things like this. But I think both guys are going to deliver, maybe a crossroads off a ladder or 2. I'm expecting a banger here between the 2 guys. Hopefully that will deliver, but I'm going to go with Cody Rhodes to retain. There's just too much going on, man. There's too many high-profile names in this Rumble. Cody Rhodes is going to main event WrestleMania with that championship, and I don't know who the hell he's going to fight right now, but I can tell you one thing. He is going to retain this championship, and I expect a banger. I'm going to go with Cody Rhodes to retain. I just want Kevin Owens to look good in defeat, and I hope that it's great story, it's great wrestling, it's everything that we love. I'm going to go with Cody Rhodes to retain the championship. Alright, man, next up, we're getting into the Women's Royal Rumble matchup. Now, as of recording this, there's only been 10 of the 30, I think, announced so far. I'm going to go through the field with you right quick before we dive into all of the information I think about this Royal Rumble match. So, all the announcements so far, or the wrestlers that are announced for this matchup: Nia Jax, Bayley, Charlotte Flair, Naomi, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Lyra Valkyria, Ivy Nile, and Io Sky. So, there is a ton of potential for surprises here, and I guarantee we'll get more surprises in the women's than the men's Rumble. Rumble. It's just really the way it works. But let's get into some of these surprise entrants that I think we're going to see in this Royal Rumble match and just kind of break it down. First of all, I think Jade is just no freaking buts about it, man. We're going to see Jade Cargill in this Rumble, whether it be at 30, whether it be early on in the Rumble, maybe 27, something like this. Maybe she's an Iron Woman of the matchup, and I'll tell you who I think the Iron Woman I think it's going to be and all those things. We're going to dive into all the information, man. I think Jade will return here, and I think she's going to play a massive role in this Rumble. Obviously written off, put through the hood of a vehicle. I think she's going to come back for big storyline purposes here on the road to WrestleMania. Another surprise entrant I think we're going to see is going to be Asuka. Asuka is most definitely going to be in this Royal Rumble match. She is one of the GOATs, man, so I think Asuka is definitely going to be returning here. I think another returning superstar that we could see is also going to be Kairi Sane. I could see Kairi Sane returning for this Rumble potentially, maybe reuniting here. We'll see what comes of it with her. Can't even get her on damn screen, man. Another one that I don't have here, but I think that Roxanne Perez could also be a surprise entrant here. I think that kind of goes without saying. Julia also, I think, is without saying. And then a big part of this matchup that I think also is going to play a role. We already know that Charlotte Flair has announced, which leads me to think that we're going to have some big surprises in this Rumble, and I think one of those big surprises is going to be none other than Becky Lynch, and I think Becky Lynch is going to have a massive role in this Royal Rumble match as well. And then another couple ones that I think Jordynne Grace, obviously, coming into WWE, I think that will also happen in this Rumble. And then the last one that I'm kind of clinging to hope, I think it could be big, especially with Charlotte being announced, is AJ Lee, man. I think AJ Lee, man, this could be the opportunity for AJ Lee to return to the company, maybe just a run through WrestleMania, you know what I mean? I think that would not be out of the realm of possibility. I'm going to go with AJ Lee as just kind of like a, like a little Hail Mary bomb. Maybe something that not necessarily may happen, but I'm going to put it out there in the universe and want it to happen. But let's get into the different information here, who I think is going to win, the Final Four, all those things, man. First of all, I think the Iron Woman of this matchup is going to be Becky Lynch. I expect Becky to be a very early entrant, maybe like entry 5 or something like that, and I expect her to go the distance. I expect her to be one of the Final Four also. I think she's going to go the distance. I think she's going to have a really good showing. She's been on the shelf for a minute. I think she's going to come in and look really, really good. Becky Lynch takes her career seriously. I think she's going to come in and be an all-star in this matchup. I got her as the Iron Woman in this matchup. Most eliminations for me, I'm going to go with Jade. I think that, it could be Nia, it could be Bianca, it could be Charlotte even, especially with her being announced she's going to have a dominant run. I'm going to go with Jade. I think that she's going to have a very serious showing, just tossing women over the top rope, man, just counting up eliminations. I got Jade with the most eliminations. And then we have our Final Four here, and I want to get all these people out of the way, and then we'll talk about who I think the Final Four is going to be. So first of all, I do have Jade in my Final Four. AJ Lee, if she was in it, possibly could be in the Final Four, but this is who I'm going with my Final Four right here, man. My Final Four is going to be Charlotte, Bianca, Becky, and Jade, and I think that at the end of the day, I'm going to predict Bianca Belair last eliminating Jade to win the Royal Rumble match, and Belair is going to win the Rumble. And it's very hard to predict. I'm not going to lie to you, man. This Royal Rumble, much like the men's, is very hard to predict. I think there's so many different angles you could take. There's so many different stories you could tell. I think Io has a strong case. I think that there's so many women in this matchup that could win, but I don't know. Something tells me Bianca for the win. I'm going Bianca for the win here. I think it's, I just think that's what we're going to get, man. I think she's going to eliminate Jade, and we're getting a Bianca Belair win again here. I'm picking Bianca Belair to win the Women's Royal Rumble, get her second Rumble victory here, and go on to challenge Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania for the championship. That's what my prediction is here for the finale here, but I expect a good Rumble, man. I think there's going to be a lot of women involved. Hopefully it's good, and I think that all of these things are realistic. Maybe we see an Alexa Bliss or something like that as well, but this is what I'm predicting for the Women's Royal Rumble. I got Bianca Belair winning and challenging Rhea Ripley. And for the main event, we have the Men's Royal Rumble matchup, man. I want to go through the full, the full lineup here. We'll get into Final Four, most eliminations, Iron Man. I'm even going to give you who I think 1 and 2 are going to be, and we're just going to dive into everything, man, and finally get into my winner. But let's start things off with the field. So far announced for this matchup, we have LA Knight, John Cena, CM Punk, Jey Uso, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Rey Mysterio, Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura, Logan Paul, Penta, Chad Gable, Braun Breaker, and Carmelo Hayes. Absolutely stacked lineup so far, and I think this is half so far. That's like legitimately legitimately half of the lineup right now. 15 of the 30, and I think that we're even in for some surprises. Like, first of all, I think Logan, and I don't know, this is being recorded before Friday Night SmackDown, so there could be some more announcements tonight. Jacob Fatu may announce or whatever, man, but I think that those types of guys are still going to be in there. I think we may get a couple surprises here and there, but I'm going to give you who I think the surprise entrants are going to be, or who I hope to see, and then we'll get into it, man. But I think that 1 and 2, who I think is going to be the number 1 and number 2 entrants, I'm going to go with Carmelo Hayes as number 1, and number 2 is going to be Trick Williams, man. Trick Williams is going to be entrant number 2. 1 and 2 right there doing war together, and they're going to last a very long time. So long, in fact, that I think Carmelo Hayes ends up being the Iron Man of this matchup, and he kind of makes a name for himself here in this Royal Rumble. Not that he doesn't, he's not a name already, but he did take out Cody Rhodes after Raw went off the air, I do believe, and I think that kind of lends itself to something, right? I think that kind of, gives his character some hope here, and I think he's going to have a really good showing in this Royal Rumble. I got him as the Iron Man. But let's get into some of these surprise entrants. Trick Williams is obviously one of those. I think another one that would be really awesome to see, and I don't know if it's going to happen, but I can cling to hope, right? I'm going to say Aleister Black or Malachi Black. I would really love to see, Malachi or Aleister Black. I think him coming in as Aleister Black, like as a return, would be really sweet. So I'm going to put that out there. Hopefully, who the hell knows, but I'm going to put him back here as just kind of a reminder that maybe he could get it done there. But we also have Joe Hendry. I think Joe Hendry's kind of a layup surprise, but I think he would be really fun to see, and the pop would be insane. I would love to be in the building for that. Another one that kind of, it's kind of a Hail Mary shot, but I think could happen is Matt Cardona. Maybe we get a little Matt Cardona action in this Royal Rumble, I don't know. I'm just going to put it out there. I think that we could see that. That would not shock me to see Matt Cardona, be in this Royal Rumble, have a cool pop, maybe get a couple eliminations here and there, or whatever. And the last one that I swear to God, man, I do this every single year. I cling to hope, and I've been to the Royal Rumble. This is going to be my 3rd year in a row going, and the last 2 years I've been like, oh, this guy's going to show up. He's going to show up, and he never does, and it's going to be The Rock. And the only reason I could see this happening, or that could potentially happen, and I'm only saying this because I think he could eliminate Roman Reigns or take out Roman Reigns in some way, and that lead to a WrestleMania matchup. That would be a good night 1 or night 2 main event matchup would be The Rock versus Roman Reigns. It's a really good story. It ties up some great things. You have a lot of different bells and whistles attached to that, so I'm going to put The Rock out there. You never know. You never freaking know, and the last 2 years I've been like, damn, why did I even say that, man? He's not showing up. Like, Sami Zayn was the last entrant, and Cody was the last entrant the year before, and it was just, I don't know, man. I hope this year that number 30 is just some big shock or just something that gets the crowd going, but we'll see. That's what I have for my surprise entrance. Not the most exciting, but, we have that. Iron Man, Carmelo Hayes, already covered that. 1 and 2, Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. Most eliminations, man, I mean, this has to take place, man. This has to take place. Jacob Fatu with the most eliminations, man. I think he's going to be in this Rumble, and if he's not in this Rumble, it's a damn shame. That would be a big crime if he wouldn't be in this Rumble, but I have him coming in and taking out a shish ton of people, man. I mean, he has been absolutely dominant, as he should be, and I think that Jacob Fatu gets the most eliminations in this Royal Rumble, but let's get into my final 4, and then who I think is going to be the winner. So you take I also think that Braun Breaker is going to be a beast in this. He could be the Iron Man, and he could also have the most eliminations, but let's get all these people out of here, because I'm going to tell you who I think the final 4 are going to be for me personally, but let's get all these guys out of here, and I really wanted Seth. It's going to be, I think it's going to be either this group of 4 here, or it's going to be this group of 4 here, but I'm going to go with this group of 4 right here. This is going to be my final 4, I think. I think John Cena, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Drew McIntyre as your final 4, and I really have no damn clue where this thing's going to go, but, again, man, you're going to have your Damian Priests of the world, your Finn Balor's, like, these guys are going to be in this Rumble, but when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, at the final 4, I'm going to go with Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and John Cena, and, oh, man, this is so tough. I think that, there's so much potential here. I know the favorite of this thing is Punk. It's absolutely CM Punk. Roman Reigns being eliminated, the only way I could see his character being eliminated is by some sort of Solo Sikoa interference or Rock interference or something like that. I just don't see this man getting eliminated clean, but I guess if the winner eliminated him, they would truly deserve that WrestleMania spot right there, man. So I really am just, to have Cena, Punk, and Roman Reigns all in the Rumble, and we already know about it. There's no, John Cena's going to be a surprise entrant, or Roman Reigns is going to be a surprise, or Punk's going to be a surprise. These guys are legitimately announced for the damn thing, so it's just unreal, and I'm down to Punk or Cena, and as a massive Cena guy, as being just a true believer in this is where I'm kind of back and forth, man. And if you're watching to this point in the video, you're a real MVP, man. You're a real MVP. Type in the comment section down below, real MVP, because you're a real MVP. Because it means that you truly care about what I have to say here, and I really appreciate that. But what I'm worried about is they have pushed Punk so much in this build to WrestleMania, in this build to Royal Rumble, man. He has been the clear favorite. Like, it looks like it's a perfectly painted picture for him to win. And even last year, I thought he was going to win, right? I didn't expect Cody to win back-to-back, and he actually did last year. Maybe I'm just a clown for that. But John Cena's story about going to WrestleMania, I would believe in it so much more if he had been on television over and over clamoring and getting cut down by people and saying, no, I believe, and it being like this big C-Nation, never give up thing. But they have not done that. You know, he hasn't been around. He cut one promo Raw on Netflix, and it was big. I was hyped. I was like, hell yeah, he's going to go win this shit. And now it's just, I don't have any faith in it. But at the end of the day, I want to believe in my boy, you know? I want to believe as that big Cena guy. Cena's my GOAT, you know? I'm going to be there for that last Rumble right there. Hopefully, he can win it right there, you know? And I'm going to believe in that. And I'm going to select John Cena, but I don't know, man. I really have some doubt in my belief. I really don't believe, truly. But you know what, man? I'm going to hold out hope. I'm going to pick John Cena as the winner, but it's not going to shock me if Punk wins. I would just really love to see John Cena win, man. And even if you could tell a story where it's like, you know, even Punk could like cut down the fourth wall again and it could be a replay all over again. Like, oh my God, you're coming in and you're getting to do this and stealing away my main event. I don't know. You make it do something there where maybe it leads to a triple threat. Maybe it's Punk and Cena at the end and Cena wins and, you know, you end up getting Punk in there for that triple threat or something like that with Cody. That would be epic or something. I don't know, man, but I'm going to say Cena wins. I'm going to say Cena wins. I got my hands up. I don't know. I'm throwing a Hail Mary prayer, and that's going to be the end of it. John Cena wins the Royal Rumble, and that's all I have to say about it, and that's all I have, man. That's all I got. I'm going with it. I'm going with the GOAT. I'm going with my boy there. Hopefully it takes place. If not, that's fine too. But I'm going to go with John Cena, man. I'm going to ride or die there. I just hope for an epic deal. I'm going to be there for it. So hopefully the show is good and everything like that. But that is going to wrap up my predictions for Royal Rumble 2025. That makes me vomit to even say that. But that is it, man. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. I'd love to know your thoughts and predictions down in the comment section below. What do you think of mine? And again, man, comment down below, real MVP, if you stayed to this point in the video. You are a champion. But huge shout out to our Patreon members, man. You guys are unbelievable. And we also had a new Patreon sign up just the other day that I want to give a shout out to. And that is going to be to Caleb Glancy, man. Huge shout out to Caleb for signing up as an MDT patron. Really appreciate you, brother. But that's going to wrap it up, man. Hope you guys did enjoy. Leave me your thoughts down below. I'll see you guys next time. Have a blessed one, and I'll catch you guys later.